Georgia Mountains Unitarian Universalist Church is situated in Dahlonega, Georgia, site of the second significant gold rush in the U.S. A historical marker explains, from its steps in 1849, Dr. M.F. Stevenson, assayer at the Dahlonega Mint, attempted to dissuade Georgia miners from leaving to join the California gold rush. His oration gave rise to the sayings, "There's millions in it," and "There's gold in them thar hills." Because of this gold rush, the Creek and Cherokee nations were driven from their lands in what was eventually known as the Trail of Tears. We begin each service with a litany of welcome. If you are here for the first time or the 50th time, you are welcome here. If you believe in many gods, a god or goddess, no gods, or you're open to the mystery, you are welcome here. If you are gay, straight, bisexual, transgender, non-binary, or done with labels altogether, you are welcome here. If you're covered in tattoos or are a blank canvas, you are welcome here. If you shout amen after each song or sentence, or if you prefer to sneak in late and blend into the back, you are welcome here. If you come here sober, addicted, or somewhere in between, you are welcome here. If you are deep in grief, or if you are celebrating from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, you are welcome here. Your whole self, all that you were, all that you are, all that you long to be, is welcome here, and you are just where you should be, in a room full of compassionate, thoughtful, justice-seeking, radically welcoming Unitarian Universalists ready to meet you where you are. Welcome home. Founded in 1994, the church is located in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains in North Georgia, a stone's throw from Dahlonaga's town square. It's a small but mighty congregation with roughly 85 members and an additional 50 active friends of the congregation, and steadily growing. The vision of GMUUC is to be a visible leader and partner in our community, living our Unitarian Universalist values with open hearts and minds. The church's mission is to inspire connection with people, nature, and spirit, advocate love through generosity, nurture wonder, and serve the world, or eons as it is affectionately referred to. The church is very active in the community and participates in many events advocating for social justice. A few of these events include an annual Transgender Day of Remembrance Vigil on the old Gold Museum steps, a tomato sandwich supper which benefits the free medical and dental clinics in the area, the annual Interfaith Thanksgiving service, which was brought about after the local Ministers Association changed their bylaws to exclude everyone who was not Trinitarian, and First Night Dahlonega, a series of concerts and events on New Year's Eve which supports the local shelter for houseless individuals. We give half of our plate collections to worthy causes each week. We are frequently involved in the UU presence at the Atlanta Pride Parade, have cultivated a trusting relationship with both a local African American organization, Newtown Florists, and a Latinx organization working against local and statewide voter suppression and helping to support their cause of bringing light to the intersecting issues of racism and economic and environmental disparity. Recently, our minister facilitated a peaceful protest with ministers of various faiths in the area against a white nationalist rally taking place in our backyard of Dahlonega. Like many areas in the U.S., Dahlonega is seeing a rise in white nationalist sentiments and actions which are requiring a strong counterpresence. Our work in this area continues.
Supremacy, to fight white supremacy in all of our institutions. As a minister, I fight it in religion, in our churches, because it's there. As politicians, we should be fighting it in the political sphere. As lawmakers, as police officers, we should be fighting it in every facet of our lives.
Yeah. That's right.
Because we all know the truth, right?
Yeah.
That until all of us are free, none of us are free. So I'm here to hold a moment of silence for those who are victims of white supremacy, for those who have fought and died, or who lived under conditions of white supremacy in this country and around the world. Let's hold them in a moment of silence, powerful silence.
In 2015, a safety manual was produced by members of the congregation. The manual is designed to provide a user-friendly, single reference for church leaders and congregants to prepare for, cope with, and respond to a variety of emergency situations. The creation of this manual was a major achievement for us, as our church is situated in one of the most conservative voting districts in the U.S., and as such, we are often putting ourselves at risk doing justice work. This helped the congregation feel less like sitting ducks and more empowered about their safety and justice work. The church, which was built in 1945, contains around 1,500 square feet of worship space and another 1,500 square feet in the finished basement. The basement houses the staff offices, boardroom, and children's area. After 25 years, it was clear that the congregation is simply outgrowing the current facilities at its present growth rate. At this point, a decision was made to relocate the church to another, bigger building.
I was going to say, I would like for it to be the venue that everyone wants. So the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, PFLAG, Poverty Institutes, they want to come and use the UU church to spread their message.
And gay weddings.
We are deeply connected to our sister churches all across the United States. I can't tell you how many colleagues from all over the U.S. and beyond in the Philippines who sent me messages of encouragement and prayer and love and just said, you can do this. We're so proud of you. We know that you can be present in this really scary time. And what a beautiful feeling of connection that was.
GMUUC has a rich history of both part-time professional contracted ministry and lay-led ministry. Over the last 7 years, they have transitioned into a 3/4 time settled ministry with pulpit supply of UU ministers, seminarians, and clergy from other faiths from all over the region, making worship rich and varied. A piece of property was purchased in early 2019 for the future site of Georgia Mountains Unitarian Universalist Church. The new church is still in the planning stages, and the board is relying on donations, fundraising, and crowdsourcing to raise the remaining funds in order to begin construction. Depending upon the results of the capital campaign, the new building is projected to be finished in 2022. Thank you for allowing us to share a bit about what we think makes us special. We look forward to moving into our new building soon, where we can continue to serve our community in bigger, bolder ways and shine the light of Unitarian Universalism and liberal religion throughout the South and become gold in them thar hills.